Hello fellow clear mind enjoyers. This time we are looking at Synchrons in Master Duel. Apparently Konami took notes from my last video where I said the deck desperately needed Assault Sonic Warrior, and they were like, don't worry, we got you bro. Next pack, it's yours. And here we are, finally playing Synchrons with almost full power. So far I've only climbed to Master 5, but it felt incredibly smooth. It almost doesn't feel like an uphill battle against the meta anymore. I'm actually considering climbing even higher and maybe even playing Stage 2 of the DC Cup if I have the time, because for once it doesn't feel like getting kicked in the balls trying to play Synchrons against meta decks. But now let's get into the deck profile. Similar to last time, we are running the same Synchron core. 1 Jet Synchron, 1 Scrap Synchron, 1 Assault Synchron, 2 Junk Synchron, and 2 Stardust Synchron. This is basically the minimal core for a functioning Synchron deck. Jet Synchron is required to generate non-tuners from non-Meister starters and to get Junk Synchron when we start with Meister. Scrap Synchron is required for Scrap Warrior and occasionally enables Speeder Cheese when we already have a level for non-tuner on the field. Assault Synchron improves our non-tuner generation by reviving Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and then we recover him with Dissipator to set up a double disruption with Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Junk Synchron is obviously required since most of the support is built around him. Stardust Synchron is here because he's still the best Synchron we have, and we run him at 2 because we often want one before Speeder and another one to summon off Speeder. For the supporting spells we run 1 Synchro Fellowship and 2 Junk Signal. Fellowship adds Junk Synchron and a card that mentions Stardust Dragon or Junk Warrior. Junk Signal is mainly protection for Speeder, but it can also generate non-tuners and protect our board from board breakers. Of course, people will say it's also a starter, which is technically true, but personally I really dislike using it that way. Of course we are also running the support from last month, 3 Junk Meister, 1 Junk Armor, and 1 Reinforcement of the Army. These cards are honestly borderline custom cards. Meister is basically a power-crept Snake Eyeash that doesn't even require a normal summon, and his level modulation comes up surprisingly often. Junk Armor is basically Poplar and Lonefire Blossom combined, and Rota probably doesn't need an explanation. The new card in the main deck, the one I was glazing the whole time in my last video, is of course Assault Sonic Warrior. We run him at 1 because we already have plenty of ways to access him. He can special summon himself if we control a card that mentions Junk Warrior or Assault Mode activate, and on summon he searches a Synchron. On his own he looks kind of mid, but when combined with the rest of the engine he becomes insane. Most importantly, he allows us to play a second non-brick engine in the form of Psi-Reflector and Emergency Teleport, giving us for additional starters. Psi-Reflector is also a solid normal summon because it doesn't lose to Droll. Assault Sonic Warrior also improves the starter quality of our last engine card, Full Speed Warrior. Full Speed Warrior now leads into a Herald Protected Speeder line, although he's still a suboptimal starter, so we only run him at 1 since he's still occasionally required by the engine. The rest of the deck is filled with non-engine cards. My recommendations are of course Droll, Max C, Ash Blossom, and Called By, which feel like completely non-negotiable auto-includes. Fuwalos is also a great card, but right now it feels a bit less important and slightly outperformed by Purulia. Unfortunately I only have 2 of them, and since I wasted a bunch of dust crafting old band cards to play old structure decks with some friends, I don't have enough dust for a 3rd copy right now. My low-key favorite non-engine card at the moment is Red Reboot. It's very strong against decks like Dracatail and Man, and it's also decent into Radiant Typhon since a lot of their disruption comes from their trap. While I think Nibiru as a standalone card is pretty weak right now, when paired with another interruption it can still be devastating. My current experimental non-engine package is the Psy-Frame engine, running 1 Gamma, 2 Delta, and the Driver Brick. I actually like them a lot right now because we activate many effects while we don't control monsters. And for good measure I also play 1 Triple Tactics talent as a power 1 of, it basically wins games whenever I draw it. That's basically it for the main deck, so let's quickly move on to the extra deck. We start with the GOAT, the Legend, Star Ham. On summon, we can discard a card to summon one of the monsters used as material and treat it as a tuner. If he's in the graveyard, we can discard 2 cards to special summon him again. It sounds expensive, but it's our main play under Droll, and if the choice is losing the game or discarding 2 cards, I'll gladly take the discards. He's also occasionally used for climbs, mainly to put a level 2 tuner on the field. Just remember, access to Starham basically means access to Speeder. Next we have Scrap Warrior, who searches any card that mentions Junk Warrior and can also send that target to the graveyard. Herald of the Arclight is our main protection tool for Speeder. Accel Synchron now works closely together with Starham, they're basically a tag team. Then we have the completely fair and balanced Junk Speeder. For the Synchro 7 slot I'm running Black Rose Dragon, and honestly she came up a lot during the climb. People are starting to forget how dangerous a 4+3 Synchro setup can be. The level 8s are filled with the usual Stardust Dragon and Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon, although in this list they serve slightly different purposes than before. The third level 8 is the new Nightwing Cleric. By discarding a card she can summon a monster that mentions Assault Mode activate from the deck, making her a versatile extender, climbing tool, and combo bridge. We skip level 9 entirely and move straight to the level 10s with Barone and Dissipator. Barone is the easy Omninegate everyone knows, and Dissipator mainly acts as an extender, though his disruption shouldn't be underestimated. The level 11s are Shooting Majestic Star Dragon and Duration. SMSD is an Omninegate on a soft once per turn and can be revived by Assault Synchron. Duration acts as a board nuke for face-up cards and currently helps protect Herald from battle. I'm also testing Red Supernova Dragon as a potential Fuwalo's play. It's decent, though we're hard summoning him here. Crimson Dragon is mainly used to summon Shooting Majestic Star Dragon by targeting Duration. And that concludes the deck profile. Now let's talk a bit about the current state of the deck. People often ask me how good Synchrons are in Master Duel right now. Personally, I think the deck sits comfortably in high rogue territory. It's definitely not meta, but it can absolutely compete with meta decks. And we shouldn't forget that the deck will keep getting stronger over the next few months. We will probably get Killer Tune soon, which means Zarin is likely coming as well, greatly improving the deck's protection and resilience. When the Rose cards arrive, especially Rage Rose, they will help a lot with non-tuner generation and might even enable hand loop lines. Then we hopefully get Harmonia, which our deck can use very well to improve our non-engine consistency. And finally we have the overframe cards to look forward to: Crimson Dragon Quetzalcoatl, Star Junk Synchron, and Synchro Emergency. Quetzalcoatl fixes our non-tuner issues, Star Junk reduces redundancy and increases resilience, and Synchro Emergency, while tricky to build around, is still a completely broken card. Even with all that, I'm honestly not sure if Synchrons will ever become a true meta deck, and to be honest, I don't really want them to. Just imagine Synchrons being tier 1, it would probably turn the format into a toxic hand comparison simulator. Personally, I'm perfectly happy if the deck stays high rogue. With that little discussion about the future of the deck out of the way, let's finally move on to the combo section. Let's start with the improved Meister line. We are summoning Junk Meister and search for Junk Armor. From the Junk Armor summon we are grabbing Stardust Synchron. This forces the opponent to interact at that point because Stardust gives us access to a very powerful card. If the opponent decides to interact there, we can still pivot into Nightwing Cleric and continue our combo from that route. But for now, let's assume the unrealistic scenario where the opponent doesn't do anything and we are free to go for the full combo. Next we summon Psi-Reflector and go through the regular line to make Herald, similar to the emergency teleport line. The difference here is that we also get Junk Signal into our hand along the way. After that, we commit to our first normal summon to go into Junk Speeder. From there we first summon Barone and then climb into Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon through Black Rose Dragon. Now we can commit to our second normal summon with Full Speed Warrior, which allows us to search a second Junk Signal for the opponent's turn. From here we transition through Starham to generate a level 2 tuner, which lets us summon Dissipator while also triggering Assault Synchron. Dissipator then revives Assault Synchron, and we tribute over him with Stardust Synchron. If we are playing the Shooting Majestic version, this is where we summon Duration. If not, we can simply stop here and use Crimson Dragon during the opponent's turn to summon the original Majestic Star Dragon instead. This line is a bit more discard heavy, but overall it's also safer, because it applies pressure earlier and forces the opponent to interact before we fully commit to Speeder. Now let's look at a more conservative Meister line. We start by summoning Junk Meister and searching Junk Armor as usual, but this time we summon Jet Synchron early to go straight into Herald of the Arclight. The line is a bit outdated, but it's still important to know because there are definitely games where it comes up. After summoning Junk Speeder, we immediately go into Nightwing Cleric to summon Psi-Reflector, who then searches Assault Sonic Warrior. From there we summon Barone, and then special summon Assault Sonic Warrior. He searches the remaining Synchron from the deck, which is mostly just discard fodder for Starham so we can generate a level 2 tuner. Next we climb into Black Rose Dragon and transition into Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Accel Stardust brings back Jet Synchron, and then we use its effect to summon Dissipator. Assault Synchron banishes itself to revive Accel Stardust, and Dissipator then revives Assault Synchron. After that we summon Duration using Jet Synchron and Dissipator. We tribute over Assault Synchron with Stardust Synchron to summon Crimson Dragon, and then we tag out into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. This line is less discard heavy, but it's also a bit more fragile, so you should decide which route to take based on the hand you open and how much interaction you expect from your opponent. This line follows our second best starter, Emergency Teleport. We activate Emergency Teleport in the draw phase to play around Droll, so the search from Psi-Reflector already happens during the draw phase. Then, during the main phase, we special summon Assault Sonic Warrior to search Scrap Synchron. From there we go into Scrap Warrior, and we chain block him since he is a small choke point. Scrap Warrior searches Synchro Fellows, but before using Fellows we summon Herald of the Arclight first for protection. After that we activate Fellows to grab Full Speed Warrior and Junk Synchron. Then we activate the Graveyard effect of Fellows to play around Nibiru, giving us the additional normal summon. Now we commit to our regular normal summon with Full Speed Warrior to search Junk Signal. After that we use the bonus normal summon to summon Junk Synchron and go into Junk Speeder. Speeder summons the level 1 to 3 Synchrons, and from there we climb into Barone through Nightwing Cleric. Note that Packbit would actually be the better card in that slot, but for now we are using Nightwing. Since our field is clean again, we can summon Starham to trigger Jet Synchron search while also putting a level 2 tuner on the field. We search Junk Meister, then get Junk Armor, and Armor gives us Stardust Synchron. Next we summon Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon, revive a level 1 tuner from the graveyard, and then use Accel Stardust's effect to summon Dissipator, which also triggers Assault Synchron in the graveyard. We tribute over Starham to special summon Stardust Synchron and then summon Crimson Dragon. Since we now have space on the field again, Dissipator revives Assault Synchron. After that we use the level 1 tuner together with Dissipator to summon Duration, which allows Crimson Dragon to tag out into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Finally, Barone can destroy the Assault Synchron on the field to send him to the graveyard. Alternatively, we could keep him as tribute fodder for Junk Signal to summon a free Stardust Dragon, but overall the safer play is to destroy Assault here. Now we are looking at the Psi-Reflector normal summon, which honestly isn't the worst starter. The line follows very similar steps to the emergency teleport line. We go through the usual process to make Scrap Warrior and then transition into Herald of the Arc Light. The main difference here is that we already used our normal summon on Psi-Reflector, so we can't access Junk Signal early like we could before. Instead, we straight up activating Synchro Fellows on Herald to gain the bonus normal summon, and then we normal summon Junk Synchron to go into Junk Speeder. Speeder then summons our level 1 to 4 Synchrons, and from there we climb into Nightwing Cleric through Black Rose Dragon to clean up our field. Jet Synchron gives us access to Junk Meister and Junk Armor. We summon Meister, then go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon to revive a level 1 tuner. After that we summon Star Ham to generate a level 2 tuner. Next we activate Excel Stardust's effect to summon Dispater, which also triggers Assault Synchron in the graveyard. To clear some space on the field, we Synchro summon Duration using Nightwing Cleric and Junk Synchron. Dispater then revives Assault Synchron, allowing Stardust Synchron to tribute over it so we can summon Crimson Dragon. Finally, Crimson Dragon tags out into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon to finish the line. Let's take a small excursus and look at Psi-Reflector under Droll. On the search from Psi-Reflector, the opponent hits us with Droll and Lockbird. Once that happens, we can transition into Star Ham. Star Ham discards a card and brings back one of its materials as a level 2 tuner, which lets us go into Excel Synchron. From there we revive Star Ham, reduce the level of Excel Synchron to 2, and then Synchro summon Junk Speeder. Sure, this line basically costs us almost our entire hand, but it's still better than simply losing the game on the spot to Droll. After Speeder resolves, the best route is a bit debatable. With the current card pool we can either go for an unaffected Red Supernova Dragon, or transition into Duration, the Cursed Thunder God together with Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Those are basically the strongest boards we can produce right now with the tools available. This line will get significantly better once Rage Rose is released, because it will improve our access to non-tuner bodies and make these recovery lines much stronger. Next we have the Full Speed Warrior starter. On summon, Full Speed Warrior searches Synchro Fellows. Fellows then grab Scrap Synchron and Junk Synchron, allowing us to summon Scrap Warrior and search Assault Sonic Warrior. After that, we reduce the level of Scrap Warrior and special summon Assault Sonic Warrior, who searches Assault Synchron. We then special summon Assault Synchron to make Herald of the Arc Light. Now we can commit to our second normal summon with Junk Synchron, and we summon Full Speed so we have a level 2 non-tuner body to work with. From there we summon Junk Speeder using Assault Sonic Warrior and Junk Synchron, and Speeder brings out the remaining 3 Synchrons from the deck. We immediately summon Nightwing Cleric, and after that we summon Star Ham. This triggers Jet Synchron to search for Meister while also giving us a level 2 tuner on the field. Next we summon Junk Meister, but unlike earlier lines we search Junk Signal this time. We are planning to use Signal during this turn to correct our line later on, since we only gain access to it after Speeder and realistically won't need its protection effect anymore. We then summon Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon to bring Assault Synchron back from the graveyard, and we go into Barone using Assault Synchron and Nightwing. After that we activate Excel Stardust's effect to summon Dispater and trigger Assault Synchron in the graveyard. Dispater revives Assault Synchron, and we activate Junk Signal on Assault Synchron to summon Scrap Synchron, giving us the material we need to summon Duration together with Dispater. Finally, Stardust Synchron tributes Star Ham to special summon itself, and together with Excel Stardust we go into Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon then tags out to summon Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, completing the line. Now we are looking at the improved Stardust line. Junk Armor and Junk Signal follow more or less the same sequence, so I won't make separate combo showcases for them. We start by normal summoning Stardust Synchron to search Junk Signal. Signal then tributes Stardust Synchron to special summon Full Speed Warrior, and Full Speed searches Synchro Fellows. Fellows grab Scrap Synchron and Junk Synchron, allowing us to summon Scrap Warrior and search Assault Sonic Warrior. Next we reduce the level of Scrap Warrior and special summon Assault Sonic Warrior, who searches Assault Synchron. We special summon Assault Synchron as well and go straight into Herald of the Arclight. After that we use Junk Synchron to revive Full Speed Warrior, and then we go for Junk Speeder. Speeder then brings out the remaining Synchrons from the deck. From there we summon Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon to revive a level 1 tuner, and then we use Jet Synchron together with the revived Full Speed we summon Star Ham, which also triggers Jet Synchron to search Junk Meister. Star Ham then revives a level 2 tuner. Next we go into Black Rose Dragon and later transition into Nightwing Cleric to continue the climb. In this line Junk Meister once again searches Junk Signal. We then activate Excel Stardust's effect to summon Dissipator, which also triggers Assault Synchron in the graveyard. Dissipator revives Assault Synchron, and we use Excel Stardust together with Assault Synchron to summon Barone. Nightwing Cleric gives us access to Psi-Reflector, and together with Dissipator we summon Duration. Finally, we tribute Junk Meister with Stardust Synchron, summon Crimson Dragon, and tag out into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon to finish the combo. The last combo of today covers Assault Sonic Warrior as a starter. This line is essentially the same as the Synchro Fellows starter, with only a slightly different sequence at the beginning. Both lines protect Junk Speeder in the same way and reach the same board setup before Speeder resolves. We start by special summoning Assault Sonic Warrior, which searches Scrap Synchron. Scrap Synchron allows us to summon Scrap Warrior, giving us access to Synchro Fellows. Fellows then adds Full Speed Warrior and Junk Synchron to the hand. We discard Full Speed Warrior and activate the Graveyard effect of Fellows to reduce Scrap Warrior's level. Then we normal summon Junk Synchron, revive Full Speed Warrior, and activate Full Speed's effect. Because Scrap Warrior is on the field, that effect cannot be negated. Next we summon Junk Speeder, which brings out all of our remaining Synchrons from level 1 to level 4. From there we climb into Nightwing Cleric to search Psi-Reflector, and then we can make Barone de Fleur. After that we summon Star Ham using Jet Synchron and Full Speed Warrior. Jet Synchron triggers and searches Junk Meister. Full Speed Warrior then revives a level 2 tuner, and we use Star Ham together with Psi-Reflector to summon Herald of the Arclight. Now that we have enough board space, we summon Junk Meister to search Junk Armor. We use them to go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, reviving a level 1 tuner from the graveyard. We then activate Excel Stardust's effect to summon Dissipator, which also triggers Assault Synchron in the graveyard. Junk Armor can tribute itself to special summon Stardust Synchron from the deck, but we can also simply tribute it to summon the Stardust Synchron that is already in the graveyard. It doesn't really matter which option we choose. With that, we summon Crimson Dragon. If we revived Stardust Synchron from the graveyard, we can use Barone to destroy Assault Synchron to place it back into the graveyard. Finally, Crimson Dragon tags out into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, finishing the combo. That concludes the combo section. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did I'd really appreciate a like and a comment, but if not, that's totally fine too. The following replays use slightly different deck lists, though they all share the same core cards. The lists I'm using will be shown on screen. For now it's time for me to stop yapping and let you enjoy the replays with some hype music.